Welcome to this episode of Living Gifted. I'm going to be talking about the struggles of knowing when someone is being dishonest with you because of your gifts and how I deal with it in my life. Today, I will be answering a question that has been asked to me by many people, actually, and that question is, do I read people in public or in my personal life? So my friends, my family. The answer may surprise you. And so we begin. Have you ever been in a situation where someone is telling you something and you know it's a lie? Or you already know the truth and someone is spinning quite the tale or quite the web to you and you just look on in disbelief? Their entire conversation for me loses value. At that point, I feel like you didn't trust me with the truth or you didn't think the truth was interesting enough. No matter why you're lying to me, the fact that I can feel it really frustrates me. And it makes me lose interest in what we're talking about. So why does this happen? Well, it's because I'm an empath or because I'm a psychic. And fun note, all empaths are psychics because psychics are just able to read energy. So what is an empath? An empath is someone who can read energy, someone who can pick up on other people's energy, other people's vibes, their information that they're putting out. And so when someone is telling you a story, your body reacts. Your energy reading skills react, whether you want them to or not. If you have no practice regulating your empathic abilities, it can be just an onslaught of stuff all of the time. All the feelings, all the thoughts, all of the vibrations, all of the time. An easy way to understand this is empathic abilities are your processing system or your cell phone. And your notifications is your intuition. So anytime a text comes up, it's your intuition saying, hey, this thing isn't true, or hey, this person is feeling that way. And then your body reacts, whether you are cognizant of it or not, your body, your mind, everything is reacting to that person's energy or information. So as an empath, in so many interactions when you're talking to people throughout the day, or whether you pass someone, whatever it is, whatever information they're sending to you, you're reading it and your body is responding, or your brain is responding, your emotions, all of the above. So when someone's telling you a story and you can just tell it's untrue, something in you just goes off. Something inside of you is like a warning, or your notification pops up and it goes, this is untrue. We shouldn't follow this person. We shouldn't pay attention to this person. And depending on who they are in my life is how I respond. If it's someone I've known for a really long time that I'm really close to, I'm probably going to call them out on it. Hey, I don't think you're being honest, or what I'm hearing is this. Does that make sense? Is there something here you're not telling me that you want to keep private? Or depending on the topic, I might just realize it's none of my business and let it go. Now, if the person is someone I'm in a relationship with and they're just lying to me and I can feel it and know it, I'm also going to call them out. But the damage of that, or depending on why they're trying to lie to me, the damage of that is really hard to get over. Because as an empath, it's hard to trust someone after that. It's hard to know when someone is lying to you, especially if they just are constantly lying to you and thinking somehow they're going to get away with it. Or maybe they got away with it once, so they think that there's like a code or cheat code that they can find and make that happen. But as an empath, it's really hard to respond to people that you're in a relationship with and that is lying to you. If the person hasn't been in my life very long, or I just met them and they're lying to me already, it could be because they don't know me, so they're keeping, obviously, their stuff personal. Or it's a really good red flag that this person is going to be dishonest with me going forward, and I just don't have to invest that much. And I just kind of nod along, walk away, and go, okay, information received. And that is one of the best parts about being an empath, is that if you get good at noticing that information or your notifications, the way that you process that information, you can move forward without investing in those kinds of people. That ultimately is the goal, right? To understand your notifications, understand your information so that you can move forward without so much pain and so much banging your head against the wall and trying to make things make sense. So I want to go back to how much pain it can cause having that gift, or how painful it can be to know when someone is being dishonest with you, or when someone is doing something to be cruel, because you can pick up on it. I was in a relationship with a friend who would constantly start arguments or make comments about things just to see my response, or just to see how I would react, right? To have that drama going on. They're just one of those people that really enjoy the stress and watching someone else crumble and fall apart. And when you're around someone like that, it's exhausting. This happened when I was younger, so it was exhausting because I couldn't identify that that's what that person was doing, that they were just getting a rise out of me, that they were just enjoying their time. And the thing didn't make sense because my empathic abilities were picking up on the fact that they were not being truthful, or that they were just kind of being sly and their words weren't matching their energy. And so I was in this roundabout with them. And it's so easy to get sucked into that because as humans, we want to understand things. And as empaths, it's really hard because some people don't understand their own feelings. Some people don't even understand why they're doing the things that they're doing. I don't want to say some, actually, a lot of people don't understand what they're feeling, why they're doing things. And as an empath, when you hear somebody say words and then you pick up on their energy afterwards, it becomes this big ball of mess. And the desire to understand it and become extremely questioning and digging and driving, it can feel for the other person like you are insensitive, or that you don't care about them, or that you just want to hurt them or prove them wrong, or whatever the thing is. It's just an all-around exhausting experience. So when you're with these people who want to get a rise out of you, or are chronically untruthful to you, you'll find yourself in that vortex. And instead of just stepping out of it, it can become really addicting to figure the thing out because you're still human and you want to understand. And that's where boundaries come into place. And you say, you know what, next time I go down this path, I'm not going to follow this person into this spiral. I'm just going to step out and go, wow, that's really interesting information that you're giving, or that's something weird that you're doing, and I'm just going to step back. But of course, that comes with practice. So that is what I try to do now in those situations. But when I was younger, I definitely did it. I definitely rode the ride for a longer time than I ever would now. That is how I deal with dishonesty now. I try to step away. I try to call someone out, especially if it's a loved one who's going through something and they maybe just don't want to face that honesty for themselves. If it's a good relationship, it's a healthy relationship, I will call them out on that, and hopefully they can find the path, as I hope they would do to me if I'm, avoiding some truths for myself. And when the opportunity presents itself and someone shows up dishonest from the jump, or I'm in a relationship or in a friendship that repeatedly proves itself to be dishonest, then I gracefully step away. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Keanu Reeves, that there's some odd number of 1 billion people on this planet. And if someone shows you their true colors, then just take it as information and go find one of the other odd number of billions of people. So I really have tried to embrace that and understand that I don't have to hold on to everybody. And as an empath, that's really hard because you also want to save the world and help everybody. So that's where those boundaries really come into place. But that's why honesty is so wonderful. Honesty is the best gift that you can give someone, whether it's a painfully honest moment or a beautifully honest moment. Not lying to people is the best way. And I'm giving you the most basic kindergarten answer. So yes, and honesty is king, especially in my life as an empath. I value honesty and authenticity at the highest. Also in my life now, something that has happened since I've put these kind of boundaries in place, or these kinds of rules for myself, and I've been paying attention to my notifications, is that the people in my life and the relationships that I maintain and build now are so much deeper and more important than anything I've had before. And because of that, because I'm choosing people who show up for me and that I can show up for gracefully, honestly, authentically, I can love so much deeper than I ever knew before. I don't love from a place of fear. I don't love from a place of this person's going to lie to me or this person's going to not be nice to me, so I have to alter and manipulate myself to fit whatever the crazy thing of the day is. I can just show up honest and show up as I am, and the people in my life show up as themselves, and we figure it out. We work it out to the middle. Sometimes it's, 50-50. Sometimes it's 40-60. It just depends on what your day looks like. But if you leave space as an empath to only let people in who are honest to you and who are fueling you and feeding you and bringing you good information and good vibes that you're not struggling through, you can really become vibrant. You can really become the fullest, most beautiful, colorful you that you have ever been. That is how I deal with the downside of knowing. The downside of knowing is that it can be really painful. It can be really painful to just know all of the time when someone is being dishonest with you or when somebody wants to hurt you or somebody wants to play with your emotions. But the upside to that is that you can alter, you can adjust, you can learn that information, and you can move forward empowered and positive and make better decisions for your own life. So next, I would like to answer a question that many people have asked me, not just one listener, but lots of people in my life have asked me. And that is, do I read people when I'm in public or when I'm with friends and family? Really quickly, though, before I answer, I would like to invite you all to join me for the Empath Survival Bootcamp on April 27th, 2024. If you are joining me after that, it will probably be on my website as a course or just as a pre-recording that you can watch. Either way, check it out. I'm going to be going over what it means to be an empath, how to navigate life as an empath, how to protect your energy, and how to honor your gifts moving forward. So join me and many other people like me on the 27th so that we can just grow and empower each other and learn better. So the question is, do I read people in public or with my friends and family? And my assumption is always what they're asking is if the energy of everyone or the mediumship skills I have, so ghosts and spirits and energy in buildings, does all of that stuff come up for me everywhere I go? And do I read it on purpose? And to me, this almost feels more of, do I have permission or do I not? So it comes down to an ethical question for me. I think other people think of it as like this fun, exciting thing that you could go out and just read everyone and just know things about people or know about people's ancestors. And honestly, one, that's not very fun because it's not fun for me to be trying to enjoy an outing while being swamped with everybody's information or their family members. And I don't have permission from these people to open myself to that. And it can be really jarring to be someone who's just existing in public and someone walks up and they're like, hey, I know about this family member. I know you did this thing, or this person is coming to talk to you, or whatever the thing is. There are many shows where this happens, where people just walk up to other people and they start reading for them. And it looks really organic, but those things are set up. They come in and tell the people first that they're filming. Obviously, they're bringing a full camera crew in. So they've been pre-warned what's happening and that someone might get a reading. There's so much that goes into that. They're not just walking up to random strangers. I promise you, people do not enjoy to randomly be read. On top of that, it's exhausting to just walk around and be completely open to anything that comes in. It takes a lot of protection before and after, and it's not something I want to do. Now, when I was younger and I didn't have any skills around it, it was so exhausting that I would find myself trapped in my house and I just didn't want to go anywhere. I would pick up everyone's energy, or I would bring home things, and didn't understand about cleansing very well. There was just so much struggle in that, and it was really hard. So it took me some time to realize you can't just walk out of the house and just be wide open and ready for anything. That doesn't mean that I have a whole ritual before I leave my home where I'm putting up wards and just being so protected. They just kind of stay, and I let them down when I want to do something, if that makes sense. And I do have certain things as for my empathic side when I'm in large groups or if I go to a store. Actually, I went to Hell, Michigan with my friend for a little day trip, and we went to just see all of the attractions that they had there. And I went into the store and a bunch of people came in, and I picked up someone's something, and it was really intense, and it was just like anxiety inducing. I was so worried. I felt frantic. My friend and I got back in the car. We were driving away, and I like couldn't breathe because I was feeling so much anxiety. And I had to do some cleansing right there in the car and just like process through that so that I can continue on my way. Once I cleared, I realized it wasn't mine because I felt much better. I'm saying that to say that sometimes this does still happen to me. I do catch myself just picking up someone's stuff and walking away. The better you get at identifying it, the faster you can clear it, the faster you can heal and move forward. And that's where that practice comes in. Practice doesn't make perfect, right? You're never pick anything up and you're just perfectly existing. You may not be paying attention and just pick somebody's stuff up, but the faster you can identify it and move forward, the better off you'll be. So I hope that answers that question. I would never intentionally just walk into a group and start reading people's stuff, but it does happen accidentally. I'll pick someone's stuff up. The other part of this question, and the last bit that I'll say about it, is that I do leave myself open to certain information. I do leave myself open to danger. I do leave myself open to someone who has bad intentions towards me, someone who may want to treat me badly, or I am still female, so someone who may want to attack me or something like that. I do leave myself open to those kind of clues, and I have that understanding with my guides and my energy and the universe. And that has helped me before. I have locked my car when someone tried to get in my car with me and just knew that I should do that. So there is some form of openness that we all should have to our intuition and to our notifications so that we stay safe and protected from people who want to harm us. But other than that, I do not. I filter everything out that doesn't pertain to my day so that I'm not overwhelmed and bombarded with everybody's stuff. So I hope that answers that question for today. If there's anything you take away from today, I really hope that it's about honesty and how important it is to maintain honesty with others, with yourself, even in hard times. It's better to process something difficult than to process something difficult caked between dishonesty. I also hope you take away that you have a right to set permissions for yourself. You have a right to process energy in the way that brings you joy and let go of people who don't bring you joy and who suck the life out of you. So I hope the downside of knowing becomes your upside of intuition and you can move forward confidently. If you have questions that you want answered here on this podcast, Living Gifted, please email me at nancycs@attunedivination.com and in the subject put Living Gifted question. I hope that you all have a wonderful week and I am sending you love and light. I'll see you next time.